Our next panelist is Brenda Laurel, who founded Purple Moon, a development company dedicated to producing games for young girls. Brenda co-designed and produced the groundbreaking virtual reality title, Placeholder. She also designed and chaired academic programs at Art Center College of Design and California College of the Arts. Please welcome to the stage, Brenda Laurel.
I still don't understand technology. Okay, we're going to bet that this is forward. Okay. Do it again. Hello. Hello. Oh. Okay then. Hi there. These are some of the women I came from. Here they are laughing it up around my grandmother's dining room table. This is in Middletown, Indiana. Pop 800 souls in a day. These were strong women, and they taught me resilience and humor. And here I am with my little cousin Sherry in 1957, all ready for Easter. I had a traditional, pretty happy childhood, although I did exhibit a unnatural fondness for snakes. Moving right along. 25 years later, here are my two beautiful daughters in 1992. And from them, I began to learn all over again all the stress of being a tweener, a tween, a person in between childhood and teenhood. Now, I had worked in the computer game industry since 1976. In my daughter's computer lab at school, I noticed that all the boys would rush to the front and the girls would sit in the back. And part of this, I knew, was because the boys had pounded on video games and realized they weren't going to break the computer. And girls were really afraid of breaking the thing. So when I got hired by Intel Research in 1992, I was really happy to take over the role of research project on gender and technology, which I led for 4 years. And this is where I learned about design research. I led a team to do intensive secondary, expert interviews, etc. And then we interviewed over 1,000 girls, 500 boys, and about 100 parents all over the United States. And the quest, the first strategic goal there was, what would it take to get girls to put their hands on a computer in 1992? It's a long time ago. But, you know, we noticed in pictures like these, this was drawn by one of the girls we spoke with, well, girls in the picture seem not to be, this girl seems not to be very happy about herself, and we found this in a lot of kids this age. And so we began to look at a second strategic goal, which was, how can we make these kids feel better about themselves at this situated moment in their lives? We learned a million things, but one finding really struck home. Although Barbie was well-loved, she was a creature for aspiration. She represented the traditional, shall I say, hegemonic view of who girls should aspire to be. And I wanted to create opportunities for girls to see themselves as they were, wholly good, perfect, beautiful, and in charge of their own destinies. And that's how Rocket was born. And she was the lead character of Purple Moon Games. And she was just this kid, you know, with this awesome posse here. The girl with the glasses, the dorky girl there, that's modeled on me. So that company was about meeting girls where they were, not where we wanted them to go, or where society thought they should be. All kinds of girls. It was a family business. My daughters did voices for some of the characters. And yes, they were booth babes at the launch of Purple Moon at E3 in 1997. I mean, you imagine there's naked babes everywhere, but when an 8-year-old kid pulls on your sleeve and says, Mister, you got to come see this booth, are you going to say no? Right? Child labor in my own home. So our Rocket series made you the new kid in 8th grade. That meant you got to decide who you were going to hang around with, how to act, what to do, and if you didn't like the choices you made, you could rewind and play it differently. There was no way to win. It just turned out differently. You just got to have some emotional rehearsal space. This is the choice screen. So as you moused over these thought bubbles, you could hear Rocket's voice. Well, I feel really bad about this. I'm going to show her a piece of my mind. I wish I could cry. You know, so you could make an emotional decision. We called this emotional navigation. We learned, by the way, that this game was used, these games were used heavily with teaching kids on the spectrum to understand about emotions. And at about 25% of our players were boys trying to figure out how girls worked. We made a companion series with the same characters called Secret Paths. It was about hopes and dreams, the inner life, the inner self. So characters from the games would go in and talk about their issues or their problems, and you could decide which one you wanted to help and go on a quest through a magical landscape to find her secret stones with characteristics that she might need: courage, imagination, tolerance, love, kindness. You solved puzzles in these landscapes by collecting the stones, to collect the stones, and then you would put them in your little purple pouch, and when all the right stones were collected for your character, she would get a necklace made of those stones that had all the traits she needed, and then we would show an animated story, usually a folk tale, that was relevant to the particular problem that the character was experiencing. And I know that many of the girls would take the same journeys over and over just to see those stories at the end because they needed them. And yes, you could have your own pouch and your own stones and make your own necklace. So I want to be sure I say this was a historically situated effort. This was 1992. Things have changed hugely in the last 21 years. Gender has changed. Computing has changed. Women's confidence in technology has changed. But I still get at least an email a week from a girl who played these games and who thanks me and who says my life was changed for the better. And I consider that the greatest success of all. I went on to teach in graduate school for 15 years after Purple Moon ended. But these are the most vital lessons I learned about inspiration. My inspirations are simply love and hope. And they're both active verbs. That's the thing to remember. Thank you.